There was totally a weather report yesterday. I don't know what you are talking about. I definitely wasn't playing Conan all the way through the weather report time. I would never. Also, I'm playing Conan again. Let's do weather. We've got a slight risk 2 out of 5 for severe thunderstorms over parts of the southern plains for Friday and Saturday. Additionally, slight risk of excessive rainfall over parts of the lower Mississippi Valley. And the front extending from Ohio through the central plains and the middle Mississippi Valley and the Ohio Valley could have some excessive rainfall. Northeast, you could see some of this rainfall. And west coastlies, there's another onshore front coming in over the Pacific Northwest Sunday to dissipate over land. We'll keep an eye on it. Temperatures 60s and 70s for Washington and Oregon, 89 to 67 for NorCal, just depending on where you're at, 91 to 71 for SoCal. Same story. Mountain states, we've got low to high 70s, even right up by the Canadian border, mixed with 60s in the higher elevations, but lots of 70s, high 70s, trending down into the southwest, where it turns into 80s by the time you hit the top of Arizona and New Mexico, and they're seeing like 99 right by the Arizona, Nevada, Utah, California border, 93 right down by the border, and I'm seeing some red that looks even hotter for the Phoenix area. Plainsy Poos, we've got 69, nice, up in North Dakota by the Canadian border. It turns into 70s right below that. That 70s continues down through Kansas, turns into 80s for most of Oklahoma and the northern part of Texas and the Panhandle, and then the middle of Texas does wane down maybe slightly into the high 70s, but by the time you hit the tip, you're back at 91. Plainsy Poos, we've got 50s and 60s right around the lake states. Those 60s turn into 70s by the time you hit Kentucky, and the 70s do continue all the way down into the Gulf, trending into the higher 70s. East Coastlies, we've got 50s and 60s for New England, turns into 70s for the Mid-Atlantic, and the Southeast trending into the hotter 70s and the 80s, and 92 at the shaft, 93 at the tip. McMurdo Station on the Ross Sea in Antarctica sitting at 3 degrees Fahrenheit with no winds, giving them a real feel of 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Puerto Rico sitting real pretty with no watches, warnings, or advisories at this time. And daytime high temperatures 87, 90 for the North Coast, 85 for the East, 88 for the South, 90 for the West, and 81 for the interior, with 87 to 89 for the U.S. Virgin Islands, except St. Croix and surrounding waters at 83. It does look like it's going to be warm, even though they haven't addressed that warmth in my normal report. Let's stay safe and not die and drink lots of water and all that good stuff. Oliver, come here. Alaska, still getting a little pee in the southern half of the state, but not too bad. Daytime high temperatures 20 to 24 for the Arctic Circle, turning into 30s below that. And for the coastlines, the interior seeing 44, 47, 55, 45 to 39 for the Aleutians, 45, 44 near Anchorage, and 47 for the Panhandle. Hawaii, no watches, warnings, or advisories in effect at this time. And standard daytime high temperatures for the island in the mid-70s to the mid-80s for most areas, with the hotter parts trending towards coastlines and interiors a little bit cooler, especially on the Big Island where you get even cooler with elevation. All right, everybody have a really good day. It's Friday. Have fun on your weekend. If it's your weekend, if it's not your weekend, have fun anyway. Have fun every day and come back for more weather or else. Okay, bye.